This is the final plenary. And the Braver Angels Convention Plenary 5 is now in session.
All right. We got quite a bit to go through. What do you think, Cameron?
Well, I'm a little bit put out with you, Matt, because, you got me to dress down for the weekend and you show up in a three-piece suit.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Cameron. I have a confession to make. The entire T-shirt and blazer thing, that was all staged.
I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
All right, we got our Casablanca reference in. So I'm wearing the three-piece suit because I think there's a great message. Everything I wore was for a reason. And as we go forward out into Braver Angels, and actually I'm just kidding, I actually have a wedding to go to. So I want to make it for open bar, so let's get this thing moving. All right, so we have quite a few announcements. So first one, if you're staying with us on campus, when you check out, make sure you return your keys to the information desk. What?
TWC.
TWC. This is very important. Return your keys to the information desk. You will leave your linens and towels in your room.
We have a lot of T-shirts left at the bookstore, and they're all available for a suggested donation, whatever you are able to give. So please come to the bookstore at the Todd Ware Center after this plenary and get you a T-shirt.
Okay, when this plenary ends, we are going to do dinner a little differently tonight. So instead of going to the cafeteria, we're going to have a bunch of food trucks. You've seen them lined up outside. They're outside the chapel. That's where you'll get the food from. After the plenary, Braver Angels staff and volunteers will hand you food and drink tickets on your way out of the chapel, and you'll use those for dinner. The vouchers are for all of you, delegates only, and one voucher will allow you to get one of everything from the trucks. Did I say that right? I'm doing it over. Okay. If you have invited any guests, they are able to pay with cash or card. We have tables set up outside, as well as some outdoor games for you to enjoy.
Let's hear it for food trucks. At 7:30 p.m., I hope you will all join us back here in this chapel for a really fantastic concert. I've been listening in and participating in the songs that have been getting written on the songwriting track. Plus, we all know how wonderful the Sons of Serendip are. The concert is going to be fabulous. 7:30, right here.
Okay, and I guess this is somewhat appropriate that I'm the one that has to make this announcement. So there's an Audi A5, and of course it has Illinois license plates that needs to be moved. 268285. If you have that Audi A5, 268285, you need to move that car as soon as possible, please. Where are we?
Tomorrow morning.
All right, tomorrow morning. Anyone who is interested is welcome to join an interdenominational service at 8 a.m. right here in the chapel, and a fireside chat with the founders of Braver Angels. Also, there will be 2 more breakout sessions for those interested.
Then lunch is at noon. Lunch and breakfast are both provided tomorrow. And final checkout from your dorm is 1:30 p.m. Please don't go home with your keys. Please make sure you get your keys back to the TWC.
All right, and here come some really important announcements. So first of all, we'd like to take a moment and thank Josh Klein, who is back there. Josh has been running our video and projections and live stream. So Josh, thanks again. For those of you who don't know, Josh has put in many, many hours of hard work for this convention, all free of cost.
Whoa.
He does this for a living, and we're so grateful for his generosity in supporting our conventions and our mission. So if any of you are ever in need of a conference technician, we can't recommend him highly enough. So find Josh.
I would like to make sure we thank the volunteers who have put together this whole convention. Let's start with Mark Metzger. That's Mark and Sophie and Kit Bailing and her posse of volunteers who have done so much work keeping us organized and flowing well during this convention. If you were a volunteer here, please stand up.
All right, I have a special thank you as well. Most of you probably know this, but if you did not, Cameron Swallow, in addition to being co-chair of the convention, she's also First Lady of Carthage College. So she is responsible for bringing us here to this beautiful location, the view and everything. And so Cameron, do you have people from Carthage College that you'd like to call out?
Well, it's a cast of thousands, but let's thank particularly Megan Mazanet, our Director of Events. The Carthage staff says that they have loved having the Braver Angels here. And I tell them that it's mutual.
All right, can we go to this one, or do we have anything else before?
I have one more.
Okay.
Tomorrow, as many of you will be getting out of town, you should know that Kenosha doesn't have a 4th of July parade. It has a Sunday before the 4th of July parade. And the streets will be closed from 1 to 3:30. I think they start shutting them down at noon. If you want to get to the interstate, take Highway E. If you want to go to Small Town America 4th of July parade on the Sunday before the 4th of July, please come on down. It's a great way to cap off this weekend celebrating America.
Yay, small towns. All right, Cameron, I got something next to me. Is it time to pull that out?
Yep.
All right, this is, we're now going to draw from the exhibit hall cards. Again, this is for $250 credit at the online Braver Angels store.
Yes, you can bring that one up. I saw it. Hold on, bring it.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to mix them up really well.
You want to do the mic, Cameron?
P. Higgins. Please claim your prize after the plenary. After the plenary. It was the last one?
Yeah. So P, if you could come up after the plenary,
After.
we'll have a certificate for you. All right. Mark, are we good with all the announcements? We got all the housekeeping stuff up? And thanks again for all your work, Mark. Yeah, we got to put that there. All right, with that, the chairs call our parliamentarian, Jesse Manisto, to the stage. The chair is going to present Jessie. She is going to get the gavel and the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Mr. Co-Chair. Hey, everyone, I am back. And as I promised you on Thursday, we are going to have some actual democracy to do here today. You've done some already. I am delighted to announce, you have approved the platform by a vote of 205 in favor and 2 against. Can I have the platform, the heads of the platform committee, Elizabeth Dahl and Mark Metzwith, Beckwith, yes, forgive me. Beckwith, forgive me. Just stand and acknowledge, clap, a round of applause for our platform committee. Thank you. And so, you've already accomplished one task. Now I have got another for you. Thank you. Now, we have our major task, which is to choose the single issue that we are going to devote our time, our resources, our energy to for the coming months. This is going to be the subject of a report that we will do, much like the Trustworthy Elections report. I hope you saw the email that I sent out. The Common Ground workshops that we have done here put together some sample unanimous language about each of these 4 topics: abortion, immigration, hate speech / free speech, and economic growth / economic inequality. So our task today is to choose which of these topics we want to be working on. These are not, by the way, we're not going to be lobbying about this issue. This is not political activism. This is simply demonstrating our common ground model. And there will also be the opportunity to do debates on these topics, just showing how we as Braver Angels members do democracy, how we talk about these things. So, today, what we are going to do is we're going to have some discussion to start us off, much like we do in our debate program. This will not be a resolution for and against. We're going to start off with speeches in defense of one of these 4 topics. 1-minute speeches is what I will be looking for. These will be arguments that you will make in support of your favorite issue. Why should we take this issue back to our alliances and devote our time to it? So, what I want you to do now is to, hold on, we've got this figured out. What do we do next? We're going to take these speeches until about 4:30, maybe a little longer, we started late, 4:35. We're going to do until 4:35. And you're going to do it like in a debate. You are going to address me as the chair. Since we want to get as many speeches as possible, I am going to be strict with time. And we won't take questions. If you want to ask a question of a speaker, I'm just going to ask you to make your own speech, okay? And finally, let's see, what else? Oh, I also will not hesitate to rule you out of order if you go on about something not relevant to what topic we should take back to our alliances. So, with that in mind, I would like to find some speeches. Do we have a speech on the topic or on any of these topics? Is there anyone who is brave enough to go first? I call on the lady from the platform committee. What topic will you speak in favor of?
I would like to speak in favor of immigration.
Immigration. Madam Speaker, you have 1 minute.
I think that the topic we tackle in the same way that we tackled the Trustworthy Elections report should next be immigration. because I believe that Americans have an enormous amount in common on immigration and the type of policy that they would like to see related to immigration. And unlike some other topics, I don't think that immigration is a topic where people can simply find consensus after they get to trust each other. I think people already have agreements, and they're simply so used to looking at a stereotype of each other on the topic of immigration that they simply don't know those agreements exist. And so I really want to see Democrats and Republicans talking to each other about the topic of immigration, because I think that they will discover a ton of common ground on values, concerns, and policies in a way that no other topic offers.
Thank you for that speech. Perfectly timed. All right. I am now looking for a speech on free speech or hate speech. Or no, and ma'am, what would you like to speak on? Abortion. A speech on abortion, please.
Abortion is being used by both sides as a deep wedge issue, and yet a study that Notre Dame did looking at surveys, by surveying deeply about people's thoughts and feelings and all the nuance, found there's a great deal of common ground that Americans already have, but that common ground can't break through the noise as it's being used as a weapon. Abortion is the issue that prevents me from voting for a Democrat until that changes. It is that solid of a dish, and the same way it goes the other direction. And until we take that away as a weapon from the two parties, I don't believe we can make good progress in depolarization.
Thank you to our speaker. A fine argument in favor of choosing abortion. Do I have one in favor of the economic issue? Yes, to the lady in the yellow lanyard.
I think that if we are to heal the political system, we can't ignore the economic system. And we are being divided in a faster and faster way between the opportunity to participate and have power with regard to economic growth. We also have to be thinking in terms of how we're going to finance growth and who will own it. So I would advocate for this topic, even though it's somewhat out of the area of politics, but I do believe with a foundation of economic democracy, we can heal our political democracy.
Thank you to our speaker. Compelling arguments all around. And yes, will you speak on our final topic on free speech? I'm looking for a speech on free speech / hate speech. And then we'll go to topics on whatever. I just want to start with one of each, so.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There are plenty of important topics on the line. As a member of the rising generation and someone very concerned about the state of our nation, particularly following the presidential debate, I would like to argue on behalf of free speech versus hate speech. If we are unable to define free speech and hate speech and teach people that difference and how to have dignified conversations and debates, there is no way that we can have progress on any of our other important issues. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, now I am simply going to move through this crowd looking for a variety of people. Thank you, yes, and I do not mean to neglect you up there. In fact, it's a little hard for me to see you, but I do see you standing in the back, who I'm pointing toward. Yes, please. A speech on whatever topic you like, 1 minute.
Okay, yes, I'm in favor of immigration because it touches all the other topics, healthcare, economy, abortion, speech, and it is a ticking time bomb in this country of 20 million people in the shadows that is starting to count down very fast. And it involves a lot of detailed solutions like the elections that I think we could address and the politicians are unwilling to address.
Thank you very much. Okay, I will now move. Another one up here. Do I have any other speeches up in this area? Yes, the gentleman in stripes in the front.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would advocate for the economic area. It is an area where people have lost hope in some ways for a more equitable world, sustainable world, and it has many repercussions, social, and there's short-term and long-term implications. So this, as I understand, the idea is looking for solutions. So I believe Braver Angels and our networks have honest solutions that we can discuss and bring out to the world. We have a booth. We've talked to so many people this last couple of days. They're very concerned about hope in the economic area. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, the gentleman in the white lanyard.
Thank you. I think these are all four great topics. However, if you look at the four of them, there's only one topic that really fits tightly into what Braver Angels does. And if we can't learn how to talk to each other and listen to each other and get the right message out of that, we're not going to get anywhere. So I think we're most equipped in terms of our skill set to deal with hate speech versus free speech.
Thank you to our speaker. I would like to also remind you, you will have 2 choices out of the 4 in the first round, and then in the second round you have 1. So think of your top 2, but give speeches only in favor of your first, please. Yes, Mark.
Yeah, I want to speak in the affirmative about abortion. Abortion is something that I've long thought of as an issue that doesn't have much common ground, and I didn't come into this plenary really expecting to vote for it a week ago. But my experience going through Mind the Gap earlier this week, where we were exploring all of these issues, it was remarkable how much common ground we could find on abortion between people on the left and the right, men and women, old and young. It was very moving, and in the Braver Angels way, we found a ton. So I want to advocate for abortion.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, yes, the gentleman in back, standing up.
Yes, Madam Chair. I want to speak in favor of the economy topic. I forgot what exactly it was called, but you know.
Economic inequality or economic growth.
Thank you.
Yes.
I think this is a topic where people can find significant common ground. I am concerned about the free speech versus hate speech dichotomy. I think that would be distracting to a lot of other issues around free speech. So I'm in favor of the economic wealth and economic growth debate, or not debate, but
Thank you to our speaker. Yes, the lady here in, yes. Can someone run a mic? Thank you so much.
I'd like to speak in favor of the economic inequality. I don't think that I would have stood to address this before having attended the session this past week on, I had it up here a moment ago, about how is the class divide larger than the political divide in the country. I was so moved that that is fundamental to so much of what's wrong. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. This is going to be hard, you guys. We have so many good arguments in favor of these topics. Yes, the woman standing in the yellow lanyard.
Hi, I am here to speak in favor of the free speech / hate speech. We like to look at it as contempt versus dignity in our public discourse. I am here with 12 young people from Utah who are part of a movement called Students for Dignity. They have all taken a pledge that goes like this: as an American who knows and loves my country, I am convinced that there is no America without democracy, no democracy without healthy debate, and no healthy debate without dignity. Therefore, I pledge to do more to treat others with dignity and not contempt. We feel that none of these problems can be solved unless we start having more dignified discourse, and drop the contempt for people who think differently from we do, and start to speak to and with each other and about each other with dignity.
Thank you so much. Okay, you're coming over here. I've been neglecting you. Let's go to the gentleman in the blue over here.
I'm standing to speak in favor of economic inequality and growth primarily because the other three issues have all been hashed over so much. I think it'd be hard for us to come up with something original. The economic thing has not been as widely discussed, and to our surprise in the workshop, the two sides came up with a whole list of not just values and concerns, but solutions. And I would not have advocated for it until I saw how well that workshop went. The other reason is that I think it lends itself well to bringing to legislatures and even legislation with a follow-up campaign afterwards.
Thank you to our speaker. Okay, yes, the woman in the polka dots.
Feel free to tell me that I'm out of order, Madam Chair. I actually would like to speak in favor of more time for the trustworthy election.
For the
trustworthy election report.
Adding another topic is what you are proposing.
Yes.
Okay. Given that I appreciate that motion, given that we have made this election in a democratic manner, I am afraid I have to rule that out of order.
That's okay.
Thank you, though. To the gentleman in the red lanyard. Yes?
You might clarify that making this choice does not prohibit anyone from continuing to run trustworthy elections common ground issue workshops.
For an important point of information, yes, that is correct. You are not bound to work on this topic. We hope that you will be interested in working on this topic. Many of us want to come together to work on this topic. You will be able to continue to work on the Trustworthy Elections project. So yes, thank you, Elizabeth, for that important clarification. We are not making you do anything, but we are trying to unite over a shared project. That is what we are choosing today. The gentleman, yes, here. Yes.
Greg Smith from Ohio. It's been on my heart heavy for a year, actually, since the last convention we had. I want to speak on the topic of abortion, and I think the ladies in blue will be satisfied with what I've got to say, and all other ladies too, and all you other people in here. This is a matter of life and death, and this is a matter of our future. Since Braver Angels started, we started reaching out to college. We've reached out as low as the high school kids, and eventually we'll start teaching kids in elementary school how to be a braver angel. After that, just picture in your mind the amount of kids, if we don't do something from my perspective about it, we're gonna kill our future. Okay, maybe it's just a portion, but maybe it's the president that's gonna come along from a blue woman that is gonna be a blue president that's gonna outdo John F. Kennedy. We don't know this, okay? But it could also be the guy that we like too. There's so many people that may have been the guy that would have solved cancer. I have a solution for this. And went to the debate of abortion yesterday, well moderated, perfect, it was done well. What I learned yesterday, we are not that far apart. We're not that far apart on this. Everyone in here loves life. Everyone in here loves the smile on the face of a little kid, okay?
15 seconds, sir.
15 seconds. We can do this. I have a solution that I want to share with the country, and I will do that if this is done. David Blankenhorn has confidence in me. I can do this. I have a solution. I can't share it yet, but you vote on that topic, and you vote for me for some Congress or something.
Thank you, sir. Okay. All right, the gentleman in the front up there.
I would like to speak in favor of the free speech, and since being here, I have almost forgotten the vitriol and the fear and the hate out in the world. I'm feeling a little nervous about going back, especially after the debate and I'm worried about what's going to happen in this country after the election, no matter who wins. Deep listening and communication and a focus on that is really where we should put our work. Thank you.
Thank you. And I am now going to take our final speaker. Ma'am, right there in the blue lanyard. Yes.
I do feel that economic inequality is the major problem in the United States these days, but I do think that immigration is the most pressing problem and the one that can be dealt with most readily, most quickly. And so that I'm putting in a vote for immigration.
Thank you. I see that there are so many other hands up. We are out of time, so I apologize to all of you I did not get to. We could go on forever on this. We have to move to make a decision. So now I am going to explain to you the process by which we are going to vote. Can we get the rules up on the screen? These are the same rules that I sent to you in an email earlier today. Now I want to tell you about the process that we went through to develop these and explain and walk you through what they will be. So, we're going to vote in 2 rounds, and you may vote, as I said earlier, for 2 issues in round 1 and 1 issue in round 2. In round 1, I forgot something very important. I am going to ask you to vote to approve these. You get to decide if these rules are appropriate for the values of this organization. So I have some thoughts on that after I read them. In round 1, for an issue to be selected, it must meet a minimum threshold of support of 33% of the total number of Reds voting, 33% of the total number of Blues voting, and 33% of the total number of others. And yes, others, we remembered you. You count in this as well. Total number of exempt votes will not be counted because we understand that you are technically red, blue, or other, but are not declaring that. You do get to vote. We just don't have a threshold for you, and there are fewer of you, so I hope that is acceptable. In round 1, we will stick to this threshold. If the top 2 issues by total votes cast do not meet this minimum threshold for red, blue, and other, we're going to go to a round 1A, in which we eliminate the lowest vote getter, and we run that other round. The 2 issues with the most votes that also clear this 33% threshold will advance to round 2. This could mean that the top or second place finisher does not clear, and we move to the third place finisher. So think about that. That's what we're proposing. This plan was developed so that we can stick to our value of balance between Reds and Blues and others, which in the panel that put this proposal together, which was red-blue balanced, we thought really hard about this, and we discussed a lot of ways to do this. So this is what we have proposed for your consideration and assent. I hope assent. Shall I finish and then take questions? For a point of inquiry? Thank you. Thank you for that. Just to... Thank you for the appropriate motion. You know how this works. Well, okay, let me just read the last one, and then I will invite your motion again. So I want people to have all of this thought about. Round 2, because the issues that have reached the level we have had both red and blue support in the all Braver Angels member mailing, and in the first round, that rounds 1 and 1A if we have that, we will do a simple majority vote, not counting red-blue balance in round 2. So we will have that information. You will know what the red-blue balance is, but we will go with the simple majority vote. So, do I have the appropriate motion for a point of information?
So, email you're referring to that you sent us, I don't see it, so I don't, are we voting off our phones or are we voting some other way?
I will describe the voting procedure with it. It will use it.
We're following an email, I don't have it.
Don't worry, all I sent was this document. So yes, thank you for that question. You will have a QR code in just a moment, and I will walk you through that process. For a point of inquiry. I don't have the number, but I know that the software we have will count whether it reaches that threshold.
I'm worried that if there are a very low number of yellows, that something that gets very high votes overall may fail to get a third of the yellows. So I'm just worried, is it large enough that it would be a statistical representation? Or might it throw something out that the reds and blues would strongly agree with, just because there are so few?
This is an important thought. It is possible that something like this could happen, and I would accept an appropriate motion at the time to amend if it becomes relevant. For a point of inquiry?
No, Madam Chair, I
Second that concern? Oh, the motion. Do I have the motion again? Thank you so much. Do I have a second? Thank you. All in favor? Oh, yes, sir. We're going to move to a vote. Yeah, okay, yes, I will accept, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I don't know exactly how to address it, so go.
There is a sizable number of yellows. Yes, to our COO.
I just wanted to clarify my understanding. It's not that we need 33% of the vote to be yellows on a topic. It's that we need 33% of the yellows,
right,
to support a particular topic. That might be a distinction that wasn't clear. So the fact that there's a small number of yellow votes doesn't mean that won't trip us up by itself, because it's just that we have 33% of whatever the number of yellows is here, delegates, just the delegates. The other members helped narrow down from a large number to these 4 that we're considering. It's the delegates here that are going to go through this process. So all we need is 33% of whatever the number of yellow delegates who are voting, actively voting, for it to meet the threshold and go on to the next, if that helps.
Thank you, Barbara. Yes, thank you for that clarification. It is 33% of the total number of delegates, but not of the total vote. It doesn't need to be a third supported by other, if that makes a difference to any of you. So, having the motion on the table and a second, all in favor of adopting these rules, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. I recognize the opposition, but it appears to me the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Thank you very much. Okay, so what have we got now? I would just like to give a shout out, by the way, you've seen my team, me and Luke, working very closely together, but I just want to thank the other member of my team, Natalie LaRoche, who really, really was helpful in coming up with that plan. So, Natalie, thank you. And thank you to all of you who have worked so hard behind the scenes, who maybe haven't gotten to stand up here and get an applause. That was for all of you, so thank you for that. All right, and now to our tech team, who also deserve big thanks. They have developed a program that we will use to do this voting. The way we do this is up on the screen. Take your phone and take a picture of this QR code. Now, I know if you don't have a smartphone, I hear you. In Gettysburg last year, I didn't yet have this. I had gotten rid of it, and now I have one again, because life is like that. But if you don't have one, If you are not comfortable using one, please raise your hand and we will have some people come and help you. Is there a URL? That is a great question. Is that a no? There is no URL. So if you have trouble with the QR code, please flag someone down and we'll get you a phone that can use the QR code. We are going to take about 3 minutes. I see that that's at a minute now. So at about 4 minutes, I'm going to check in with you again. Okay? Okay, the way this is going to work, your QR code should be pulling up an option to, or an entry to put in your email address.
If it's rejecting their address, it's case sensitive.
It's case sensitive, yeah. Okay, put in your email address that you used to register for the convention. And it is case sensitive, so if it's being rejected, try it again, all lowercase. It's not? Oh, okay, they fixed it. It's not case sensitive anymore, cool. But use the email address you used to register for the convention. If you are having trouble, raise your hand, we'll send someone to help you. And vote for the 2 issues that you believe would be the best 2 choices. Thank you.
Three to 5 feet. I can't get help. There are volunteers to help them. Did you say that?
Yeah, I did. But I'll say it again. Anyone, if you need help, remember, raise your hand. We will come to you. All right, in the front.
If anyone can't get it, I can just give them mine.
If you can't get it, we have people with phones who you can use it for. We're over there in the front.
Yeah, we might need to try another phone.
Okay.
It keeps saying stay. It keeps saying stay.
Okay. Here's my phone.
Camera takes the best pictures on Earth. Do you happen to know that if they vote for only one mistakenly, can they vote again?
Great. We have a great question. If you vote for only one, you can re-vote. You can vote as many times as you want, and we will only take your most recent vote.
A slight tech problem. If there's a trailing space after your email address, it rejects it.
Okay, I'm hearing that if you have a space after your email address, it will not work. So try it again without a space. Make sure there's no space.
Mine doesn't work.
Okay.
You
want to try to get it up closer to that?
Anyone need help? We've got people with phones who can come by and help you.
We won't capture.
Okay. Oh, she's got mine. Yes. I'll use mine afterward.
You'll let him use another phone. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
No.
You can use another phone.
Just wait a second.
Sorry, I don't know how to get out of it, but thank you.
No worries. You're welcome. Okay. There you go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can help you if you need.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually,
Okay.
let me.
Oh, this is your phone.
are you gonna?
Assume.
Maybe like now, or do you need to say make an announcement first?
Let me enter mine and then. Okay, guys, please have a seat. If you still need more time, raise your hand. Okay, up there, okay. We are getting close to ready to move on. So do you need help up there? Otherwise, we are ready. What we are going to do now, while we ensure our software has tabulated all the votes, we have a little break, a special surprise for you, a little entertainment. Yeah. Yes. So I am going to briefly hand the gavel back to our co-chair.
That was easy.
The chair calls David Blankenhorn to the stage for the introduction of a testimonial.
I'm so honored to ask Dr. Francis Collins and Wilk Wilkinson to come up here for a moment while I introduce them. Now look, you want to know, you know, we call them Brave Angel stories. These amazing things happen. Do you want to know another one? Some of you know, one of these guys, I think it was that one, was the nation's leading public health officer during the COVID crisis. And another guy, I think it was that one, who was a very fierce and persistent critic of the policies that this guy was the leader of. And here they are, and I'll let them say why they're here. But I just want just a point of personal privilege. I do want to say that Wilk runs a fabulous podcast called D-Rate the Hate. And
yeah.
I would really recommend that you listen in for him and the people he has on. And I will also say that Dr. Collins has a forthcoming book called The Road to Wisdom, and it's about his journey in life, but particularly during the COVID crisis. And there's a lot of wisdom in it, and he doesn't want, I'm sure he doesn't want me to say this, but just, I recommend you look, especially in the book, there's a pledge that is so consistent with what we do at Braver Angels, and I know Wilk and the other team members that they are working with are very supportive of the pledge, so I recommend that you take a look at that. And that was just a personal point of privilege to say that. But it's just an honor for these guys. I'm moved by you guys, what you're doing, your journey together, and I'm just happy you'll come say a word.
Thank you.
Thank you. So once again, I'm very honored and just privileged to be on stage here with my friend Dr. Francis Collins. You know, there's been so much about this that has meant so much to both of us. So.
Well, I'm privileged to be here with you, Wilk. Some of you were in Gettysburg last year. I mean, you may have gone to that session about an elitist and a deplorable walk into the bar. That was us. You can figure out which was which. And it's just been a joy to be able to work with you on the Truth and Trust initiative to try to see how we can bring together blues and reds about this public health issue. And we've still got some work to do.
Right. You know, and we haven't always agreed on everything, and we still don't agree on everything, but, you know, in the many conversations that we've had, we have had the opportunity to learn from each other and listen to each other and get to know each other. And in doing so, we've become very good friends. And in the coming months, hopefully by this fall, we are planning to bring together a small group of medical professionals and scientists to further investigate what could we have done better in this thing, and how did we come to the different animosities we've had, and how can we overcome those animosities going forward?
Because we know there's going to be another pandemic. I don't know when. I sure hope it's not anytime soon, but we are not very well prepared for it, and we have to figure out how to learn those lessons. I've been privileged to be part of Braver Angels for more than 2 years, working with Wilk, working with David Lapp, working with an amazing group of people who are really determined to figure out how we can cross this bridge that seems to so much have divided us. And it's influenced me to want to write a book, and David Blankenhorn just briefly mentioned it, called The Road to Wisdom. If you want to know more about it, there's a whole bunch of cards about it on the book table back there where we have our meals. It won't be out till September 17th. But we thought it'd be really interesting with this group of people who are so devoted to trying to find common ground to say a little bit about one of the things that's in the book that we might be able to get some help from you. Because it does seem to me that we have an issue here about the whole public who isn't here maybe feeling also this need to find a way to get back together. And I'm hoping with this book to perhaps make a contribution to that. The book's about truth and what that really means. It's about science and how you can decide whether science is giving you straight answers by demanding certain aspects of truth from science. It's about faith, which is another way to find truth of a different sort. And I'm a person of faith, and it seems to me we ought to try to bring those issues in there more effectively. And it's about trust. Basically, how do you figure out who to trust when you have all these messages coming at you, and what are the standards that serve us best in terms of whether trust is going to be awarded or not. But it's not one of these books that says we're all in trouble and that's the end of the book. It's also about hope and a plan of action and what each individual can do, just like all of you are doing as part of Braver Angels, but trying to extend that to an even broader audience, because this book is going to be heavily marketed by Little Brown, and I think people who don't know about Braver Angels, they'll learn a lot about it, because I wrote a lot about Braver Angels in the book, but I think they'll also be captivated by the attitude that you all represent.
One of the great things about this forthcoming book that I really like, and those that have listened to me before, I talk a lot about introspection and personal responsibility and what we can all do to become better people, and finding truth, finding trust, finding a way to move forward from those things that are so contentious is something that we all need to strive to do. And I think Dr. Collins' book, The Road to Wisdom, is going to give us some of those tools that need to make that happen.
Well, here's what we're hoping you can help us with right now. Yes, thank you for putting up the slide. In this book, near the end, after all these diagnoses and then the ask of the reader to actually do something about it, is a request to consider signing a pledge. There will be a QR code coming, so you can tell where this is going. I'd really love to think what this group of folks would think about themselves signing this pledge. I wrote it very much influenced by everything I've learned from Braver Angels. I think you will see that. It's sort of the braver way in a very explicit set of 6 points. But maybe we ought to read it to them and see what they say.
We can do that. We can do that.
Okay, can we put up the first text slide? Wilk.
I pledge that from this day forward, I will seek to be part of the solution to our society's widespread divisiveness, which is hurting individuals, families, communities, and our nation and our world.
I will actively seek out opportunities to engage in dialogue with those who have different views from mine. By respectful listening, I will strive to understand their perspectives better, to identify our shared deeper values, and to build a bridge across the gap that has divided us.
When sifting incoming information, I will seek to be a wise consumer.
Taking into account my own biases, I will carefully assess the plausibility of the claim, as well as the integrity, competence, and humility of the source in order to decide whether the information is likely to be trustworthy.
I will resist the temptation to speak about, write about, or share on social media information or claims to be true, but is of questionable or uncertain validity.
And I will bring a generous spirit to all my interpersonal interactions, refusing to ascribe evil intentions to others simply because of different political or societal beliefs. I will be slow to take offense. Loving my neighbor will be my goal. There you have it.
And I would like to just announce right now that it's an honor for me to be the first person to sign this pledge.
Thank you, man. And I'm the second. So, yeah, the idea here is, and Braver Angels has been willing to host this particular pledge and to invite, when the book comes out on September 17th, anybody who reads that part to go to Braver Angels and read the pledge and decide if they want to sign, put their name there. And it is a commitment. Going forward, that person will aim to try to achieve those particular principles, which seem to me like a no-brainer for Braver Angels, but it doesn't seem to be a no-brainer for everybody. So this will be posted for the rest of the world on September 17th, but for you all, it's up there now.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, all the delegates and attendees can go on there, put in your name, put in your email address, your zip code, and then you'll be able to find other resources.
Keep the QR up, maybe, just in case people didn't get it yet.
Oh, it is. It's still up there.
Oh, it's still up there. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the monitor.
So, yeah, you'll be able to find resources.
Oh, did we
it
crash the website? Go, people. You're so good at this. That's the second time today. Well, presumably it will
when
come
it comes
back.
back up, right?
Yes.
When it comes back up, you'll be able to find different resources and different things that we can do, again, as individuals to further our cause, further the course of better discourse when it comes to what is rightfully one of the most contentious issues of our time.
Yeah.
It's something that you and I have been working on for a couple years, 2 years now at least. And there's more to come. So please stay tuned for that. You can, like David said, you can check out the work that I do on deratethehate.com to find out more and just continue following us through the Braver Network or Braver Angels channels to find out more about the Truth and Trust Project.
Yes.
This QR code is going to bring you to the Truth and Trust page for the Braver Angels on the Braver Angels Network.
And for people in the public who see this opportunity from the book, what you'll see after you sign, assuming the site comes back up, is a whole bunch of other resources that David Lapp and his team have put there. So imagine this. People are going to learn about Braver Angels. They're going to learn about where the closest chapter is to them. There's a whole lot of other related organizations that are part of Braver Network that people will learn about. They can see who's in their zip code. The idea here is to really try to scale up the involvement with lots of people who aren't yet involved, but who are part of that exhausted middle, who are just looking for a solution to all this divisiveness. I hope this is going to help with that.
I hope so too.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
And with that, the speakers are thanked. So I want to make one point of clarification, and another thank you. So Andrew Stillman is the Braver Angels IT guru, and I was talking with him over lunch. So first of all, thank you, Andrew. And kind of to explain and defend him with, since we've had it crash a couple of times, he explained that what's happening is the security of the website, since we're having all these wonderful people logging in at the exact same time, it looks like an attack. So that's what's going on. So it's nothing that he's doing wrong, it's just a security feature. So, Andrew, you're doing a wonderful job. All right, and now we'd like to bring our parliamentarian, Jesse.
Thank you so much. I'm back, and I have some news for you. We are going to round 1A, my friends. We did not quite clear that 33% threshold, which we adopted in the rules. So, can we get the results up here, Andrew? Just for you to see. There we go. So you see what the issues were. We will be dropping the issue of abortion and re-voting in round 1A. So we have immigration and economic inequality / economic growth are the top 2 vote getters right now. That may change as we re-vote. And you'll see that the only one that cleared of immigration was red. But we were close on the others, and we were close with economic inequality as well. So, consider the results, and at your convenience, to our tech team, you can get that QR code back up there. We are doing this again. For a question? We will be voting among the top 3. So you can vote for free speech again. We are dropping abortion, and you are casting 2 votes again, in the hope that we clear the 33% threshold for all colors. Yes. For a point of information. Can someone get her a microphone? Yes. Oh, you're just, yes. Can we get some help over here? To our volunteer team in the back.
Still showed up, so I just didn't do abortion. But when I brought it up for David, abortion was gone. So some people might have seen it.
Okay. Some of you may have seen abortion still on there when you voted, and then it went away. So, if you want to re-vote, you're welcome to do that, but it should be fine unless my tech team tells me otherwise. Yeah, you should be fine if you did not vote for abortion. Yeah, it's working now.
Like, are you gonna have to have some time again? Okay. We got it.
Yep. Anyone need help? Is anyone still voting? Yes? Okay. Does anybody need help? Raise your hand if you could use assistance. Who is still voting? Anyone? We've got one over there.
No need to talk since you're on mic, but we're like running solid for 20 minutes at least, so.
We'll try to.
That's fine. I'm just gonna close it on.
Anyone still voting? Okay, we are now going to close this round. And when the tech team is ready, they will let me know. Do you guys want a band?
We don't really need it because we're going to come back.
Okay. Do we have our results this time?
Need to go confirm.
Good. All right. We have immigration. Exempt, remember exempt, we are not counting. Immigration passes, clearing the 33% hurdle for red, other, and blue. Immigration goes to the second round. Now, will we clear with red on economic inequality? Can we mouse over that? For the economic inequality, 29%. Oh, okay. Let's see what we got for the other ones. 41, and blue. So what do we need for? We tried very hard to avoid this possibility. However, here we are. I am looking for a motion to, yes? Okay.
I move to amend the rules to lower the bar for other to, can you scroll over?
What do we need to do?
I'm going to say, my inclination would be to say lower it to 20%, but I'm trying to get, can you scroll over the red, the color red?
The inequality, yes. What do we have for economic inequality for reds?
Not for reds, but in the red bar.
In the red bar.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I?
No, for the green, the middle green at the top. That is where we.
Okay, there we go. Sorry.
Oh right, I would like you to think. Oh right, I will take yes.
Yeah,
your motion.
My motion would be lower the bar for what is required for other consideration to, let's call it 25%.
For a point of discussion.
Can I recommend you redo the ballot, assume immigration has anything reached the threshold? I can't read this. I can't tell.
The immigration has reached the 33% threshold.
So then we take that off the next vote and vote between the two that are remaining.
All right, we have a motion. Andrew, can we do that technically? Can we remove immigration and vote between the two second place? We have a second for that motion, if it is technically possible. It is? Okay. All in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. For a point of inquiry?
I want to amend the motion.
For an amendment to the motion?
I want to amend that we approve two topics for discussion during the next year.
No. This is a resource issue. It is suggested to me that this is out of order. It is not a possibility. Thank you, though, for the suggestion. Okay. For what, sorry? For a motion. A motion is an action that you would like to propose.
I'd like to propose that we reopen the floor for discussion now that we have an idea of what the voting looks like.
I am going to check on the details of what that would do.
Just explain again. So that this vote is to decide which other issue is going to round two.
That's correct.
And Andrew can do it.
Okay. Okay. So we have passed a motion to remove immigration, which will go to round two, and re-vote on the second two. So, to see which one goes to round two, this is not to choose the issue. It is to see which one will be its competitor. So, we will go forward with that, having approved that by this body. Okay, thank you. For a point of inquiry.
Okay. People out there that are good with math, help me on this. We're going to only vote between the two things.
Correct.
If we all vote the same.
This means, yes, so.
So if we all voted the same as we did the first time.
Right. Okay, you're correct.
You see where I'm going here?
I do.
It's mathematically going to be 33% different.
For
The people who voted for immigration, that vote is going to get canceled out and it's not going to get diluted. So now you vote for one, immigration's off the board, and everybody now has to vote between only two choices. So statistically, it'll work. Right.
For a point of inquiry.
In round 1B, which is what we're going to now,
correct,
threshold needs to be beyond 33%. That's the point. The winner will be the majority because there's only two options.
So, we need, for a point of inquiry.
What happens if reds vote for one, blues vote for another? It's the 50 is the divider with two.
Yes.
What happens in that case? Is it the total?
This is something we have to decide. Will we vote majority? We have approved majority in round two. I am now going to ask, do I have a motion, an appropriate motion? There's an inquiry, point of inquiry? Yes.
It would seem to me that we voted as a body to accept the rules as presented to this body. And now, after the results are coming in and people aren't happy with the results, we're going back and changing the rules. Is that not correct? Not what we're doing?
We are voting to adjust because our rules will hang the convention. So we are amending, yes.
Okay, well, could I just point out something that could happen?
Yes.
We take immigration off the table, and the other issue, they could combine, and immigration, which has had the winning vote up to this point, would be left out in the cold. No?
So, for two, yes.
No, we've only accepted it for be one of two.
For a motion.
And now the other three can combine to exceed it.
I want to suggest that any issue we choose has to have the threshold, any issue going forward has to meet the threshold of that we now currently have. That is, we don't simply go to a majority, because I don't think it would be wise to have an issue that is put over the top by an overwhelming number of one and then not the other. Our way, our method, our whole thing here at Braver Angels is to make sure that there's broadly based support.
Yes.
So I commend the chairwoman for how she's handling this, and I wish to just suggest that whatever decision we make to go forward, we not abandon the minimum threshold principle.
Okay. Point of information, and then I will go over there. Mike.
This is probably more of a technical note to Andrew, but I'm not sure where he's sitting. This was the fastest way to make it happen. The website right now, when you pull up the QR code, it still says select up to 2 issues, even though we're now debating between 2 issues. That probably needs to be corrected by the tech side.
Okay.
I would like to suggest a motion, since the end result that we're aiming for is picking one issue that has support from all of the groups. I would like to offer the motion that we settle on the one issue that already has crossed that threshold from all of the groups.
We have a motion on the table to select immigration as our issue. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. For a point of inquiry?
Hello, everyone. 2 things. I'm exempt and I'm Canadian, so I don't have a dog in this fight in the same way. But off the bat, you're allowed to vote twice, right? Then on the count, it's out of 100%. Therefore, each vote is only counting for half. Therefore, the threshold can never be met if you're voting on 4 issues and you only get up to 25%, because if you're voting twice, it should be able to get up to 200%. So the first round of voting made sense. It's just that like the bar graph was incorrect because you're voting twice, not once. Does that make sense? I need someone else with better math skills to understand this.
For a point of order, and then I'll go here.
Madam Chair, Madam Chair, we had a motion previously to just reduce the voting to the bottom 2 and vote on which one would proceed. The ayes clearly had it on that motion, and we have not moved forward. I think we need to go with that motion.
All right, we will proceed. Thank you for that. We will proceed. There may still be problems. As we have discussed, we will solve those as we go forward. We will move forward to vote between the 2 middle issues. Please vote for one. Please, yes, we need the QR code. For a point of information.
If we already voted on it, should we do it again now?
Yes. Okay. Point of order in the back.
Madam Chair, a motion was earlier made to return to discussion over the issues in question, and that motion was not addressed.
I apologize. You are correct. Yes, it did follow the other motion. We may yet need to do that, but let's see what we get here.
As far as like point of order, and I'm not familiar with the rules that we adopted, I don't know. Are you capable of people that vote to go to a vote and you're in process of a vote? Is it still possible to make another motion? I was assuming that once you've moved to a vote, people they can call for points of order or points of inquiry, and they can't propose other motions.
You are correct.
Is that correct?
You are correct. Yeah.
So,
No.
Don't let them scare you. You are allowing too much on the floor. You have the right to gavel things out of order.
Okay.
Gavel things
Okay.
out of order if they're relevant. We know how to get this done. We know what this leadership wants. If the rules were
Yes.
We just need a plan if we don't answer the question.
Woo!
Doing awesome. This is great.
Thank you.
This is a really hard thing you're doing. You're doing good.
need time?
When I'm done. Okay, who is still voting? Are we ready to see the results? Anyone need more time? Oh, okay. Almost ready. Huh? Point of order?
I'm gonna try.
Okay, are we ready now? Let's go to our results. Wait, seriously? No, it is not. We have a winner. Economic inequality passes the 33% threshold. All right. We have our two finalists, immigration and economic inequality. Can we scroll up, Andrew, just to show the breakdown so people see? No, can you show us 1B again so we see the breakdown? Scroll down, thank you. You see, there's the 33% threshold. Yes? Yeah.
Are we seeing the vote count broken down by total number of votes cast, or is it broken down by the number of people that voted for each issue? Because that does have a difference in significance.
Andrew.
So that would only be the case if each vote was not unique, but each vote through Qualtrics is a new instantiation, so each vote is only you're only counted one time. So each person only has one vote each time. Does that make sense? So there's not more than one vote, because each time is a unique vote. No, you only had one vote this time. At the beginning, yes, you had two.
Okay.
Now you only have one.
I will allow 1 point of order.
I'd like to see the actual percentage for each of the votes. Like, so for example, it looks like free speech got more of the reds and maybe about equal number of the blue. So I'd like to just see
The rule that we have set is that the top vote getter, as long as it clears 33% of red, blue, and other, which means that is economic inequality. And so we have our winner. We will move on now to round 2. No other discussion in order at the moment. We are moving now to the final vote. Okay, everyone, you know how this works. For a point of order.
Can I speak to you? Sorry, I'm trying not to be emotional, but I made a motion at the beginning of the discussion to continue a conversation, and given the closeness of free speech versus economic growth, I feel that a discussion would have helped eliminate
I feel that we're in a space where free speech versus hate speech is the issue, which is why the feelings are so high. I feel that you didn't ask for, I'm sorry.
I understand.
You didn't address my emotion or ask for a second. I feel that there would have been value in continuing the discussion before moving on. And I recognize that you were swamped with questions and logistics, and I think you handled it very well, but your job is to address the emotions.
You are not wrong. I apologize to you. So we didn't. I'll come after. Thank you. And as a reminder, we will have a simple majority on this one, as approved in the original rules. Is anyone still voting? A few more. Okay, we'll take some more time.
Everybody sees that you're thinking, that's your job, is to keep order. People with a question.
All right, how are we doing? Who is still voting? Okay, we've got someone still voting. Do you want me to announce? This is round 2.
Because those say co-chairs announce the results of round 2.
Okay. All right, so let's do the handoff. Yeah.
Just to make sure that we have a clear winner, if we didn't do anything like that. I mean, we should.
We won't know. Let me go check with Andrew. Okay. Any last votes coming in? I believe we are ready to declare a winner. And to do that, I would like to hand the gavel back to our co-chairs. Everyone has voted. I believe we have a winner. Madam Chair.
The chosen topic for the Common Ground workshops for Braver Angels to concentrate on in the coming year all over the nation is immigration.
And with that, our parliamentarian who just presided over the first real brokered convention, or whatever you want to call this, is very much thanked.
Thanks, everyone. has been a pleasure being your parliamentarian. I hope that you guys are pleased. I look forward to working with you on this going forward. Thank you, everyone.
Right, yeah. Woo.
All right, you're introducing David and Barbara.
The chairs invite David Blankenhorn and Barbara Thomas to the stage.
Can we get the sentence up? We're going to condense things now because we're running late. I want to get out and enjoy the food and the concert tonight. But what we did was really a meaningful thing, not only an exercise in democracy, and I really want to thank everybody who, wow. But we're just getting started in terms of going out and influencing the nation that we know is in some trouble. And we're calling this the American Hope Campaign. And it's all right. The goal of the campaign, if you think about the areas we've talked about, the petition that Cameron and Matt are doing, the work that we're going to be doing on Election Day and taking our message to the two political parties, and our work on a common ground issue, which, does anybody remember what that issue is going to be? We now want to go out, and the biggest goal of the campaign, how does this all fit together? It fits together to reach out and mobilize many new Americans to come into our Braver Angels to work for American hope in this way going forward in the next year. It's two parts. It's reaching out to recruit and equip new members and leaders, and then to do the work that we just voted on. That's what we're calling the American Hope Campaign. So I just want to ask, Barbara, hope you can say a few words about just concretely how we can each walk out this door ready to do that.
Thank you. So David has explained, and you saw on the screen, what the core aim of this campaign is. And I want to talk to you a bit about how. So in this morning's plenary with Monica, you heard all about three major components of the American Hope Campaign, right? Bringing our message to the two major political parties by getting as many people as possible to sign the petition, and by having a presence at the RNC and the DNC. The second initiative you heard about was bringing Americans together all over the country who disagree on immigration to find common ground. And I want to say that now that we've picked our issue, when you go to the Braver Angels website and click on the American Hope Campaign button, we have already set up 4 common ground workshops. They're already scheduled. So if you would like to be a part of the first few, there's going to be more than 4. But there's 4 already on the calendar, and if you would like to sign up to be part of those Common Ground workshops, you can do that online now that we've chosen the issue. Third initiative, pairing red and blue volunteers, and we'd love for our independent members to join in as well, to be present at polling places on Election Day and spread the word about our movement. So these activities all speak to the latter part of this objective, bringing our message to the political sphere. There will be more activities and events coming as part of this campaign, so keep your eyes open in the coming months for more on American Hope. But I also want to talk to you right now about the first part of this objective. We want to equip people, more people. We need to significantly increase the number and capacity of our grassroots volunteers to do this work. And the best way to get more volunteers is to get more members. And our data shows definitively that the most effective way by far to get people to join Braver Angels is for them to be invited by someone they know. So as part of this campaign, we are trying something new. We are asking each of you to take one of these packets, they're little business card size coupons, for a free one-year membership to Braver Angels. What we would like you to do is take a packet and give one of these cards to 5 different people in your life who you think would be interested in this mission. Explain why you joined, tell them about the convention, tell them why you care about this, and invite them to be part of it all. They can use the QR code. Do you love QR codes by now? They can use the QR code on the card to sign up for free and see what they think about our approach to this important work of fixing what's ailing the country. Then a year from now, they'll be asked to renew their membership as a normal membership. And we hope most of them will stay as a part of the movement. You've all seen what this community is capable of doing. We're not messing around. We mean to bring real change to the country. But to do that, seriously, we need more people doing it with us. Many more people. We need to double our membership and keep going from there. And if we each of us here brings at least 5 people in, that will start us on the path to real impact. So when you leave the plenary today and go out those doors, please do go out those doors, and not the sides, you will pick up a packet like this. Excuse me. First, as you go out, you'll be given a ticket like this, which is for your food and drink, okay? If you want an alcoholic drink, you'll be given a ticket like this. So when you pick up those tickets at those same tables where you're getting your food and drink tickets, you will have an opportunity to take a packet. I'm asking each one of you to take a packet. And if you think you have more than 5 people in your life that you can give these to who will sign up, take as many packets as you want. We want you to be membership champions. Because remember what Monica Guzman said on our first night here? What happens in Kenosha does not stay in Kenosha. We need to bring our message of hope to the country. That's what we're here to do. If they won't fix it, we will. Thank you.
And with that, the speakers are thanked. All right, we have a couple of announcements stemming from what we just decided. So for those of you that are interested in the Immigration Common Ground report, at 10 a.m. tomorrow in the TWC, the Jockey Auditorium, there will be a breakout session that will explain if you want to get involved in the different roles about how you can help with that project. And then next is the concert, because yeah, I like the chant over there. This is what democracy looks like. So yeah, we ran a little late, so we're pushing the concert to 8 p.m. and doors will open at 7:45.
And also, would you please allow any musicians and sound check people to eat first so that they can get back in here for sound check?
Okay, and now the chairs would like to invite Braver Angels National Ambassador John Wood Jr. to the stage.
man. How does anybody suggest that democracy should be easy when math is hard? Give yourselves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, because you did us proud today. Truly, you did us proud. Now, I originally had a longer speech that I was going to give, but I'm told that I need to condense it a little bit, and that's just fine. I want to express the fact that I am deeply enthusiastic about the launch of the American Hope campaign. Yes, go ahead. Give it up for that. This is a real effort to put ourselves right in the crosshairs of the culture of polarization in America and to show the American people that we are ready with strategies and actions to impact the culture of the political parties, to bring the message of Braver Angels to the polling places, to mobilize our neighbors to get involved in a movement to build civic renewal in America, because we will not sit idly by as polarizing culture keeps us from being able to work with our neighbors who we love, admire, and adore. We will not stand for that at Braver Angels. There is reason to be hopeful in our country today. There is reason to hope, not because we agree on all of the issues, but because on the issues that we disagree upon, we still disagree as good people. There are good people who are concerned about border security and the sovereignty of our nation, just as there are good people who want to see compassion for those who come here for American opportunity. There are good people who believe in the right to life, as well as good people who believe in the sovereignty of a woman's ability to choose. There are good people who believe in liberty and our ability to speak freely, who are concerned about hate speech and bigotry. There are good people who believe in economic prosperity and who are concerned about inequality, but we are all Americans. And if we recognize that, we can move together in hope. They make it seem so complicated. Like it's so hard to speak to the American people across our disagreements. They insist on the idea that to run this country, we have to approach it as a zero-sum conflict, as a cultural civil war. And our leaders and our pundits, too many of them, only choose to speak to one half of the American people or the other. But if they just humanize us, they could speak to us all. And I am praying that they do that. I am praying that Donald Trump and Joe Biden and Democrats and Republicans and RFK and everybody who takes a stand for leadership in America seeks to speak to the whole of the American people. But as Monica Guzman said, if they do not, we will. So this is our basis for hope. The truth is that because the American people have an indwelling capacity for goodness and goodwill, we have reason to believe in our prospects for a brighter American tomorrow. But it only works if we hear each other. It only works if we listen to one another. If we hear each other's stories, seek not to destroy each other merely with arguments, but to be understanding of the human place from which our differences of opinion derive, and recognize the fact that the true project of democracy is not winning an election. It's living with each other, regardless of whether we win or lose. The American people are not despairing because we are worried about who wins the next election. We are worried and despairing because we are concerned about the idea that we cannot live with each other regardless of who wins the next election. But we can show the American people that we can. And so, that being said, I sort of think that I might already be out of time. But ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell you this. We are still at the beginning, and yet we have already done enough to show the American people that there is reason to believe, reason to hope, reason for American hope. and that there is a long tradition of hope in America, a long tradition of overcoming trials and obstacles and problems that are even deeper than what we are experiencing right now. And in every generation, we have overcome, we shall overcome in this generation as well. So keep going, keep pushing forward. Realize the fact that we again are at the beginning of this mission, and by the time that we are done, well, we will never really be done, because we are in a position to give our lives to a future that our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren will inherit, and they will look back on the work we did today, the work that we did in Kenosha and across all of these untied states of the United States of America, and say that because these people hoped, because they believed, the American dream endured for generations to come. See it in your mind, believe it, recognize the fact that the American people will not be knocked down. We will rise in hope, and we will remember these days as a moment in time in which hope was kindled anew. Thank you very much. The American Hope Campaign relies on you. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, o'er the land of the free, o'er the land of the free, and the home of the
No, we'll stay here because we got our notes. Okay.
And the speaker and the singers and musicians are thanked.